This will be for the con exercise, properties of exponents. Okay, I recommend that you do the properties of exponents intro first. So they want us to rewrite this expression in the form of a constant times x to the power of n. So for the first step, I am going to take this square root and turn it into a fractional exponent. So we have our 12, and the square root of x is the same as x to the 1/2. And that's divided by 4x. And in place of 3, I am going to make that in the form of halves. So how many halves are in 3? Well, 3 is the equivalent of 6 halves. Okay, and the reason I did that is so we can subtract the exponents. Okay, 12 divided by 4 is just 3. And since the variables match, they're both x, and they're divided, we can take the exponents and just subtract going down. So that's going to be 1/2 minus 6 halves for the exponent. 1/2 minus 6 halves. All right. And of course, we have our 3, we have our x, and 1/2 minus 6 halves is going to be negative 5 halves. Final answer. So click in the box, type 3x. This is the exponent button, and this is the fraction button. The exponent's going to be a fraction. Okay, I'm going to type negative 5 in the numerator. Hit tab and type 2. So the exponent on x is negative 5 halves. All right, again, rewrite the expression in the form of a constant times z to the n. All right, let's see. So before I multiply anything, I am going to convert. This is the 4th root of z, okay? So we have our 3, and we have our z, and the equivalent exponent of the 4th root of z is going to be z to the 1/4. All right, and that's times 3, z to the positive 3/4. All right, so 3 times 3 is just 9. And we're left with z to the 1/4 times z to the 3/4. Okay, since we have the same variable, z times z, all we have to do is add the exponent. So the exponent on z is going to be 1/4 plus 3/4. All right. So we have 9, we have z, and 1/4 plus 3/4 gives us 4/4. All right, and of course, 4/4 is just 1. So that's going to be 9z to the 1. Okay, but when you have a 1 as an exponent, you can just leave it out. So that is just 9z instead of 9z to the power of 1. Same thing. Final answer. So just click in the box and type 9z. Okay, so here we have a 4. And this is the 4th root of y to the 5th. Okay, so really, we can just quickly convert this to a fractional exponent. If you have y to the 5th and the 4th root of that, you take the y, and the exponent will be the numerator. Okay, this is just on y, and the root will be the denominator. Again, just on the y. Okay, so this part in parentheses is equivalent to 4y to the power of 5/4. Close the parentheses and raise that to the power of 1/2. Okay, now we have two terms inside parentheses, so that 1/2 exponent is applied to both terms. So we have 4 to the power of 1/2, and that is times y to the 5/4 to the power of 1/2. Okay, I'm going to use parentheses on that. All right, 4 to the 1/2 is equivalent to the square root of 4. And in this case with the y, you just multiply the exponent. So we have a y, and multiplying the numerators, 5 times 1 is 5, and denominators, 4 times 2 is 8. All right, and finally the square root of 4 is just 2, and that's times y to the power of 5/8. So click inside the box, type 2y, okay, and then click the exponent button right here. And the exponent is a fraction, so I'm going to click the fraction and type 5 tab 8. So it's 2y to the power of 5/8. All right, last one. So we have a square root here. I say we take care of the part under the square root first. Okay, so we have a square root here. And since these are both x's, the exponents are going to be added. So we have x, and this is 3/4 plus -1. Okay, so the exponents on the x are just added. All right, and I'll keep the square root for now. X to the 3/4, and the -1 is how many fourths? Well, that's equivalent to -4/4. All right, so for the x, 3/4 minus 4/4 is -1/4. And the equivalent of the square root exponent will be 1/2. So we can keep this and raise it to the power of 1/2 in place of the square root. And finally, in this case, you just multiply the exponents. We have the x, -1 times -1 is -1. And denominators, 4 times 2 is just 8. So that will be x to the -1/8. Click in the box, type x. Okay, click the square root button, click the fraction button, and type -1. Click tab to go in the denominator and type 8. So that's x to the -1/8.